us as a people, I don't think we really invest like we should. Why do you think we don't invest like we should
Um,
invest?
I think it's a stigma. I give two stories that kind of serve as examples to that stigma. Then I'll go on from there. So the first story is when you and I first started talking about cryptocurrency and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, "Oh man, I can't afford no Bitcoin," and I was like, "Hey man, you don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin. Shit, I don't have a whole
Yeah.
Bitcoin, but you can buy fractionals, which I think they're called satoshis."
Yeah, and I was in there doing it
So
today. Like, oh, he
yeah.
was he was right. Buy.
So yeah, so I mean, there's that. Then people just think that you have to have all of this money to invest, and that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, I was talking to a family member. I won't say who they are to protect the guilty, like I tend to do. They mentioned that they have a CD
Mm-hmm.
with a nice little bit of money and in it. And once you learn about CDs are trash as a savings vehicle, man.
Really?
I mean, now if you have like a fund that you just don't want to touch, I mean, back in the day maybe they were better, but right now, I mean, you're talking like 1%, if that, interest on a CD.
Mm.
I mean, shit, your Bitcoin made hundreds of. I mean, your crypto investment made hundreds of percent just recently.
Yeah.
But I
24
think what
hours.
it is on that line. It's fear of the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, oh, somebody told me to get a CD, so I'm gonna get a CD. I don't want to do all that investing stuff, because you hear about the Wolves on Wall Street, different movies and shit. You see the billionaire investor. You hear about GameStop and AMC and all that shit that happened a couple weeks ago, and you get intimidated, realizing that investing can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be.
Yeah.
You don't realize that you can do index funds that just track, the S&P 500, so the top 500 businesses or whatever the case may be, or track, if you have a particular niche that you just believe in, like, you believe in, say, Johnson and Johnson, who because they got a vaccine out. Okay, yes, sir.
Niche.
Oh, a small subset or area, or
Okay.
like, for example, our podcast, our niche is, fathers that happen to talk about cigars and guns and shit like that. That's our lane, if you will.
Uh,
Got it?
Kind of like niche.
Same damn word.
You said niche.
Niche.
Niche. I said niche. Round some snitch.
Niche is the pronunciation
Round some
of the
bitch.
word. Fucking hell.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. My bad.
Lucky I love you, man. Gosh.
Oh.
Whatever. Uh Shit. Lost my damn train of thought. You can make it, like I said, as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. I mean, you can I was listening to the brothers from Earn Your Leisure were on the Breakfast Club this
Yeah,
week. I
yeah,
don't know. I
yeah.
know
I caught pieces of that.
I listen to their podcast pretty regularly, and Charlemagne asked those brothers. They were like, how do you get somebody to invest? And they were like, think about the shit that you buy every day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you got an iPhone, if you search on Google, if you drive a Ford, if I'm just looking around, you know, my house now. If you have you get gas from the BP, or just look around you, and you'll see where it starts, and you can start there. And if you just want to invest in those companies,
Mm-hmm.
like I've got a guy that I know, all he's done is invest in Tesla because he's been a diehard Tesla fan,
Mm.
and I guarantee he's a millionaire now, just because of that. He believes in that company,
Yeah.
and so he put his money there. And that's kind of risky, and I think we tend to be risk averse. But a little reading, you can at least get started. You can at least invest in large cap companies, and just go with that and roll. Or just think about what you buy and invest based on that. Or you can
Mm.
buy, you can invest in Target and Walmart and Costco and
I was just gonna say
Verizon and H.
Walmart. That shit wasn't out
Yeah,
my price range. I show invest in
but see,
Walmart.
that's the thing. People say if it's not in my price range, fractional shares, bro. Right now, people can invest. It's no better time to invest in right now. The fees have been drastically reduced. Be careful and don't get greedy, but the fees have been reduced, and there's so much out there that you can do if you just listen a little bit, do a little bit, and you can at least, I mean, get better than that 1% CD. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you invest, I think the S&P is on average for its life for any, I think, 20-year span is, I think, 10 years, 10,
Mm-hmm.
10%.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about you, but I'd rather have 10% over 1% any day of the week.
Oh no, I am number one, son. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
perfect.
mean, I
Hell
think
yeah. Who wouldn't
I
want
think that
10% over one?
that's why, because you get worried about all that. Oh, I can't afford to invest or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
You can invest with $5,
Yep.
long as you just, the key is consistency and patience.
Yeah, I
And
started out with like about 20, 30
yeah,
bucks.
that's all you need to start with, and it
Mm-hmm.
just builds and it just builds and it just builds and it just builds. Man, look at some of those compound interest calculators, man. I look at, like, I think as if you invested like $100 a month from like the time I started working at 16 to now, straight millionaire with no effort,
Mm-hmm.
not even doing anything crazy, no crazy complex investment strategies, no high risk anything, just simple
Just slow and
investing
steady.
major companies and being consistent. I mean, I think that's kind of why it's just the fear of the unknown and the fact that you don't get that. There's no way to learn that unless you got somebody that either is going to say, "Hey, I want to see what these people are talking about, so I'm going to take some time to learn," or you've got somebody to pull you aside and be like, "Hey, you need to get on this because you really cutting yourself short if you don't."
Yeah.
Because that's how these people are building legacies for their family.
Mm-hmm.
I think with those two examples, I'm the one that decided to look out and learn and read and research and figure out what's out there. And I think for you, I've been like, hey, man, come on, let's get on, let's get this money, let's get going.
Yep. I'll let you do all the reading and research, man. I just eat. It's like
Yeah.
I'll let you cook the food, man. But I'm sitting there with my plate ready, like niggas some
Hey,
food done.
it's hungry asses like you, but that's all
Passing
right.
them Hawaiian rolls, my brother.
Long as we all eating is all that matters.
Yeah,
So, man,
yeah.
so what's your thoughts on it, man? How do you think?
Whew. Well, I can't go in depth as the niches and the nooks and crannies and all that shit. But
Kiss my ass.
I would say, like, for me in particular, as far as investing, even when you first started like looking into this shit, I was still, check the check, and I'm just like, I really can't put that little bit of money into no investment because I might need that shit for gas or something. I can't really
Mm-hmm.
do that. And I think, what I'm saying, a lot of people, I ain't gonna just say us, because we ain't the only motherfuckers in this country that struggle. I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
people, they live in check to check. So
Sure.
they don't feel like taking what they need now
Sure.
to invest in something later. And that
Right.
was my real mindset. Like, I got
Mm-hmm.
diapers to buy. I got to put gas in the car. I
Mm-hmm.
got to pay these light bills. I got to get food, such and such and such and such. And this little $20 that I'm gonna put over into GameStop or some shit, that's just gonna take away. That's gonna take $20 out of my mouth that I'm gonna need right now.
Right.
So I think
Right.
the biggest problem is living in the right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a study in a book that I was reading. It's called the Oreo cookie study.
I love
I don't know
Oreos.
if you ever heard about. So what they did is they put a plate of Oreos in front of some kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, you can have one right now, or if you wait till tomorrow or an hour or whatever the time frame was, you can have three or four or whatever the number was.
Mm-hmm.
And what that was it was testing their um, understanding and being able to exhibit delayed gratification. And that's exactly what you just said. You focus on the right now versus the future. And when we talked about it, for example, I was showing you like, hey, you don't need to put hundreds and
Mm-hmm.
thousands of dollars. Let's look at what you buy.
Yeah.
Is there something that you can cut back on just a little bit, do something a little bit different
And
to
that's when
put
I
you in
cut
such
off
a
Sling.
right,
Because you was
right.
right.
So,
The little bit of money you spend on all these streaming services and shit, you could
mm-hmm,
cut that shit somewhere because they mostly have the same shit on there.
mm-hmm,
And you could, that same money, you can invest it. Like, prime example, when I'm done paying off my car, if I don't have another car, that I'm paying on by then. That same money I was putting on my car, I'm either gonna save it somewhere, invest it somewhere. It's gonna be like I'm still paying my car note.
Right, right. And that's the best way to do it, right there, man. For real.
You guys, y'all find y'all niche, and
That's gonna be the word of the day.
yeah,
Niche.
y'all find y'all niche,
Yeah,
and
man. Just make it simple. Don't
give it a try.
make it simple. Start with like little index funds or something first, and then look at the more complicated strategies, kind of like a crawl, walk, run kind of thing.
Yeah,
do the basics.
Cause when I started, like I said, about $20-$30, and Snapchat was $6 a share just then. So I bought like 3 shares of Snapchat, and my dumb ass sold it when it hit like $14, and now that shit said like 60. I'm like, God damn it! But I mean,
if you look at it, that's a 10 times increase of what you paid.
Yeah.
And again, that's where that patience kicks in.
I mean, I still made a little bit more money off of it, but I could have made more.
Sure. You made more than if it was sitting in the CD.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the thing. I mean, and don't beat yourself up too much about what it could be. What it was.
Oh no, I'm just gonna chalk that up as a loss.
No, it's not even a loss, man. Think about it. It made you more than
it did make
what it would have
more.
made just sitting in your pockets. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like if you sold at 14, that's over 100% gain, bro.
Yeah.
So that's more than what that $6 a share, or you said you had 3. So that $18 right there would just be sitting in your pocket, going to the liquor fund or something like that. And you made a little money on it, and that's all. That's how you got to look at it.
And something to kind of tie into our first conversation about dads and stuff like that. So like tying into the dad conversation, I'm trying to teach my kids the little bit that I know about investing some of their money. You know what I'm saying? So I show them kind of like how my portfolio is set up and things like that. And you know what I'm saying, what you can do, the benefits of it and everything like that. And I do like I'll give them like monopoly money and say, all right, you buy this property right here and then see how much money you can get off of this property right here. I mean, just a small example, if you will. It's something that we as a culture need to learn more about. I'm definitely seeing more and more of us talking investing.
Oh yeah.
Getting involved with, like you said, creating a legacy. Because we have to. I want my kids to be straight. I want my grandkids to be straight. I want my great grandkids to be straight. And I'm the foundation. I told the older ones that all the time. I'm just the foundation. That's it. I'm building y'all up.
Right.
And investing is one of the one of the many ways. Yeah, I like that better. One of the many ways to build that legacy so your kids are straight. Because when you pass away, you could, everything you can stacked up in them savings and investing and stuff, you can either put it in a business set for them or different trust funds. And we talked about trust funds and stuff. And put it in there for them. And that's really, I don't think I got nothing else, man. Just my people, y'all invest, you know what I'm saying? Think about your kids' future. Think about your future. Let's get this money, man.
Right. And I mean, there's so many people out there. Just do a quick Google search. Don't believe everything. Don't follow the hype. Just do simple, slow, and methodical stuff. I mean, you can even, like I said, an index fund that follows the top companies and top American companies set better than you would have been beforehand. That's all you got to do if it's too complicated. But what you'll find though is once you start see that green creep up, because on your investing apps it show like when you get them gains, it's green.
When everything goes green, we'll be like, hey.
When you had them days when everything in there is green,
man,
and you see that plus percent, like, bruh. I mean, I got stuff in there that's like, what? I think one of my things is plus 40%. And I was like, yo, again, better than that 1% CD.
So yeah, I was checking out one stock, man, and I actually got it at like $4, man. And you was talking about the going green, and that shit jumped the other day to like $28. I was like, shit. It's back down to like 18 now, but still, I bought that bitch at $4, man. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Once it starts going and them greens start kicking up,
Yeah.
and you realize that you get more money than you put in, or when you realize that you make a good little bit of money in a day,
Mm-hmm.
it starts to get fun and it starts to become a game, and you be like, you know
So,
what?
anything else for the people with this investing stuff, man?
No,
'Cause I know this your bread
no,
and butter right here, man.
yeah, man, I love it. It's so much fun to me. And just learn all you can, and don't get greedy. Be patient and come with a plan. That's all you got to do.
Right, right, right.